Hey yarn friends, thanks for stopping by for a visit today. I wanted to introduce y'all to my two sons. This is Dakota and this is Elijah. And I just wanted to introduce y'all to y'all. Many people have asked about meeting my family. And my husband probably won't never be on camera. I don't know. He's just not into that. So we'll see. But today, Elijah and I had co-op. Homeschool co-op, so we went to that today, and I wore this necklace that I made, and I got lots and lots of compliments on it. Nice. Everybody loved it.
They say, "Oh, did you make that with your 5 fingers?"
Pretty much. So, no, when they would say that they loved it, I would tell them that I made a Sophia one too.
And they go, "Oh."
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Everybody loved it. I would tell them that I made Sophia one. I'd show them a picture of Sophia and hers.
That's pretty much the exact way the church secretary sounded.
She did. She did. It did sound like bless her heart. But anyway, I wore it anyway. And Sophia's wearing hers. She's not real thrilled to have it on though. But anyway, y'all are so mean. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all take Sophia because she, for some reason when I video, she thinks that I'm talking to somebody and she just goes to barking and such because she don't know. She can't figure out who I'm talking to, I guess. See you later, boys. So today I am working on my local project. And if you don't know what the local project is, you need to visit the Canadian Crocheter. Debbie is hosting this, it's like LoCAL project. And you can either crochet, knit, or loom knit a project. And the deal is it has to be something like local for you to represent where you live, your state, your town, whatever, just to represent where you live. And so I wanted to join that, and I was thinking I would make a pillow that represented Louisiana. And so I had some other projects and things I had to get out of the way before I could start on it. And I finally got started on it, and somehow between deciding that I was going to make a Louisiana pillow to when I actually started on it, which was like February the 8th is when I actually started the project, that pillow turned into a blanket. So I'm now in the process of making a Louisiana blanket, and this will be my main project for a little while because it needs to be finished by April the 1st. So I have the rest of February and then all of March to get it done. And I'd like to get it done a little bit before the end of March. So anyway, that is hosted by Debbie, the Canadian Crocheter. And I will put her link below. If that's something you want to join in, you can go to her channel and check out her video on it. And Debbie is a crocheter, and she's recently started knitting, and she's knitted some beautiful items. A hat and cowl and just some awesome little knitted items, and she's kind of teaching herself to knit. Maybe she watched some YouTube videos to learn, but they're looking really great. So my project, the Louisiana blanket, I've got 3 squares done. So wow, Sophia, come here, excuse me. Hey, can somebody come get Sophia? Sorry about that. Thank you. Okay, so I have 3 squares done so far, and one of them is a gold square. And I have this fuchsia and black square. And I'm putting a black border on all my squares. And I have a turquoise square. And this is what the backs look like. And so, just working on a bunch of squares right now. And then I'm going to come back and put something on each square that represents Louisiana, either like the immediate area I live in, where they're working, live in, or just Louisiana as a whole, or things that people that live in Louisiana associate with. So I'm really excited about this. I want to enter it in the crochet along that Debbie's hosting, and then also in the fall I want to enter it in my local fair when it comes around in like September, I believe. So anyway, I'm excited about that project. So I'm working hard on it. I finished those 3 squares. So yeah, I've got some. No, I was doing 16. I forgot. I think I'm doing 20 squares. That's right. We added more to it because I wanted it 4 squares across. So I've got to do 20 of those squares, and I've got 3 done, so I've got 17 more. So I'm busy working on my squares. And I'm just starting on another one right now, adding the border. See, I've made my square. And so I'm just going to pop this on anywhere on here and start my border, which is 10 stitch. I'm doing like a 10 stitch blanket border all the way around it. And what I do is to start it before I put my project on, I'm just using 10 pegs on a small gauge loom. And so I E-wrap down and I purl back, and then I do that, one time, and then I stick my piece on, and then I'll E-wrap down and then purl back. And after I E-wrap down and cast over, and I'll purl going back this way, but I'll skip this first peg and just start purling here on the second peg and purl down and E-wrap. And each time I go to E-wrap down, I'll stick, move this up a stitch. And then I'll just turn the corners and come down the side, turn the corner, and go all the way around it. So that's what I'm working on while we chat today. Like I said, today was homeschool co-op. Elijah and I went to co-op. We had a great day. It was my first day back to co-op since I had that stroke in October. I didn't go like in October through a little bit of November, and then that semester was over, and I didn't go then. Elijah went by himself. And the way our co-op is set up is that you must have a parent at the co-op teaching and working in the co-op to be able to attend the co-op, which that's fair. And so Elijah just went the rest of the first semester without me, and I wanted to be there. I just wasn't in the condition to go. So then we had winter break, and today was the first day back after winter break. So I, thought I was wanted to go and be a part of it because I missed everyone terribly. So I went today, and it like to have killed me. Oh, it kicked my rear, that's for sure. By the end of the day, I was just wore completely out. I walked from one building over to the other building where Elijah has art. The very last period was kind of after co-op. Everybody else has gone home. There's just certain students that stay for this art class. And so I walked over to there, and I had my bag with my knitting and stuff like that. And I barely made it in there. Susan, the teacher, she saw me coming, and she came running over there to me and said, are you okay? What can I do for you? And I said, I'm okay. I just got to make it to the chairs. And she said, here, you want to bring a chair to you? And I told her I think I could make it. And I made it over that chair and just collapsed. That's pitiful. I didn't take my walker in because I figured it would just be in the way and a nuisance. But I may have to take it in next week. Not that I did a whole lot of walking, but it was just too much walking for me. But anyway, I had a good day other than just it wore me out. I loved seeing everyone and seeing the kids, and it's real special, when kids, 8, 9-year-old kids, come up and tell me that they've missed me. So I was glad to be back, and I plan to go back next Monday, even if it does wear me out. Tuesdays we don't ever have anything going on, so I'll probably rest a lot on Tuesdays. And actually, when we came in today, I barely made it in, and I just went and laid down and took a nap, and Elijah did too, actually. So I had to take a good long nap, and then before I could do anything, because I was just wore out. So then I got up and I finished off my 3rd square, and I'm starting my 4th square now. So that, I'm working on this. You can't really see what I'm doing because it's kind of hard to hold this up so you can see, but I'm just working on this project. But speaking of homeschooling and such, this is my 23rd year to homeschool. I started homeschooling when Dakota was when he was 4. We started homeschooling, and he turns 27 this month, next week. But we had started when he was 4, and we homeschooled all the way through. He graduated in 2010, and Elijah is almost 8 years younger than Dakota, and so he came along and started as my second student. And so anyway, he's a senior this year, so he'll be graduating, and we have homeschool graduation May the 18th this year. So we're gearing up, getting everything in order for that. We've got his cap and gown in. We've got to do his senior photos, and the whole group is getting together for their cap and gown senior portraits and group picture sometime in March 18th, I believe. And then we're gathering up pictures. I think every family is supposed to send in about 8 or 9 pictures of the graduate as growing up, showing their changes and stuff like that, So we're getting those together so we can send that in, and it'll be graduation time. And after I've homeschooled 23 years, I don't know. I'm going to miss it tremendously. I've so much enjoyed homeschooling. It's been just such a lifestyle for us. Now, I'm not saying that every day was wonderful or anything like that. Of course, we had bad days. We had days where we struggled with math or whatever the subject we were doing that no one was interested in or whatever. We had bad days, but we had lots and lots of good days, and they certainly outweigh any bad days that we had. The overall experience that we've had has been a wonderful experience for our family. And I think both my boys would agree with that. We're extremely close, all of us. My husband and our boys are just, we're all just extremely close. We do lots of things together. We, go and have fun together and stuff. We just hang out together. And I'm thankful that we do have the closeness that we have. We're silly, super silly together. We're always just laughing and laughing, having a good time. But anyway, so next year, Elijah will be graduating and doing whatever he's going to do. He's not made up his mind about 2 different things that he wants to do. He's kind of thought about going to Delta Community College and taking their ENT courses, and he's kind of thought about going on into college and doing I forgot the name, computer information system or something like that. because he does enjoy working on computers, and he has taken lots of computer classes and such. So he don't really know. He ain't made up his mind which one he wants to do. But everybody at the co-op is telling me, come back. You can teach a class next year. Come back. And I'm just like, I'm barely here now. And the only reason why I'm here now is because of Elijah. Trust me, I'm not coming back. I love the kids. I love the people. If the opportunity arises for me, I would love to go and eat lunch with them and stuff next year. But I'm not going to go back and commit to teaching 20 weeks of classes because I wouldn't want to commit to something and not follow through with it. So I know better than to commit. But anyway, I did mention that we, live in Louisiana, and I was making that Louisiana blanket. We actually live in Northeast Louisiana, and we live inside Ouachita WMA, and that's the wildlife management area. And so there is like 14,000 acres of woods around us. So we're really not that far from town, but if you're out here, you're in the woods. You're literally in the woods. 14,000 acres around us. And actually, to get to my house coming down the road, you come through the WMA, and there's a check station where you're supposed to stop and fill out a form to say what you're doing, why you're here. So a lot of times I just always feel like, I should stop and fill out that card, ask, what's your business and what are you doing, how long you stay in, and all this kind of stuff. You're supposed to fill out the card. And then I think you tear half of it off and put in the drop box. And then whenever you leave out, you're supposed to put the other half of the box of the time you left and all that kind of stuff. So I always, joke around and say I was going to pick up the card and fill it out, and then I'm going to eat, sleep, shower, whatever, because you are supposed to stop and fill out that at the check station and fill out cards before you come down through here. But yeah, we're surrounded by woods and wildlife, and so there's lots of deer, bear, alligators, all kinds of small critters, bobcats, all that, just all around us, coyotes, everything. So there's lots of hunting going on out here, duck hunting and deer hunting and such. This past week, they've been running running beagles, chasing rabbits in the mornings. Oh, it's lovely to get woke up to basset hound dogs chasing rabbits, Rawr, 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 rawr. That's really lovely. Sometimes they stay out there all day long chasing rabbits. And the thing that is, we have 5 dogs. Well, can you imagine our 5 dogs hearing all those dogs? So my video kind of cut off there. So our 5 dogs, after, they're listening to all these beagles run and making all this barking and howling, hound dog sounds, So our dogs are going crazy the whole day listening to those dogs. And so there's some days when they're running those rabbits and stuff, running the hound dogs chasing rabbits, that I'm just like, can't wait for the sun to go down so they all go home. But I love living out here though. I've been here 28 years, so I must love it. Oh, let's look at Dakota's cat. Dakota adopted a big, humongous cat from PetSmart. He's a year old. He was a year old, like, just a few days before Dakota brought him home. So this cat guess he thinks he kind of rules the house, and maybe cats think that. I don't know. He's a little bit of a jerk. He just look at you and knock your stuff off, and just knock it off. And one day, I just was here, and excuse me, oh my goodness. I got up to do something, and I noticed there was some money on the piano, and which was very odd. No one would have laid money there. So I was like, where does this money come from? And so I thought, well, maybe it fell out of my purse. And so I just stuck it in my purse. And a little bit later, just not long later, I got up to do something, and there was money in the floor. And I was like, well, that wasn't here a minute ago. Where did that come from? And so I picked it up and stuck it in my purse. And about the next time I looked up, the cat had his head in my purse getting money out. He come out of my purse with the money in his mouth and took off running with it. So I was like, Dakota, your cat's stealing my money. And he told the cat, get the bills with all the zeros on it. So I don't know what the cat's deal is with money. It must be the smell or something about it. But I no longer stick just loose bills in my purse because the cat will get in there and take my money. Who ever heard of such? Oh, goodness. Well, if you're new to my channel, or if you hadn't been here long and don't know, I love hosting parties and having people over and just hosting parties and, playing games and having prizes and stuff. That's kind of my thing and something I've enjoyed doing for years. I just, I'm always up for a party. And so my way of kind of bringing that part of my life into my YouTube channel is the yarn bingo that I'm started this year. And I'm really enjoying seeing that. There's a video on my YouTube channel here. I'm watching that cat. Make sure you don't try to get in my purse and open my wallet or anything. But anyway, I have a video on my YouTube here that explains about the yarn swaps. But then also there's a Facebook group, Yarn Bingo. And over there, we post pictures of our bingo cards. Like you print your bingo card out, and then you, work your items, whatever items you're working on. You don't work your items towards the game. You don't change up your projects, is what I'm trying to say. You just work your regular items, and if they match a square that you can, mark off, great. And so we have a Facebook group where we post cards and our pictures of our projects and stuff, and I'm just really enjoying seeing everyone's project and progress they've made on things, and it's really great. I haven't posted much of mine on there yet because I really just haven't been online too much. And I'll mention that about Facebook in a minute. But and then also I started this yarn swaps for this year, and Christy at Christy's Corner Booth has volunteered to help me out with that. So we're gonna kind of tag team that this time go around for the next yarn swap. And if you want to get in on that, just make sure you've hit that subscribe and the bell so you don't miss any videos and updates and information about the yarn swaps. So the next one will open up pretty soon for registration, and it's only open for like 7 days to register. So be on the lookout for a video to pop up. And what I was going to say about Facebook and social media is that I'm not on Facebook every day. I don't enjoy being tied to my phone or anything like that. Normally, if I do Facebook, it's only when I'm at my desk, and usually when I'm at my desk, I'm knitting and watching YouTube videos. So I haven't mastered knitting and doing Facebook at the same time. I don't know how anybody who's on Facebook all day long gets any projects done. So, but you know, I don't really enjoy Facebook. I don't enjoy reading about politics or rants and raving about things and ranting about this and that. I just don't enjoy that really. I prefer Instagram because to me, Instagram, at least my friends on Instagram, are just showing, their kids, their pets, their projects, whatever it is that's going on in their life. Um, they're not posting all the political things and ranting and raving and arguing about different things and such, At least my group of friends on Instagram aren't using that as in a negative type way. All the posts I see on Instagram are really positive posts, and so I enjoy that factor. I don't enjoy the negativity that I come across on Facebook. So I don't get on Facebook that often. I, purposely don't want to get on there every day. I just enjoy Instagram more. Instagram, you can just scroll, hit the little heart, scroll, hit a heart. You're not really required to type a lot. I do comment on people's photos and things if it's something strikes me and I have something to say about them, but I don't feel that pressure to or whatever. But anyway, saying all that to say that there is a Facebook yarn group and a Facebook swap group. But I'm not on Facebook every day, so I usually get on there every 2 or 3 days and look to see what's been posted and, like and comment or whatever. But that's about, it. I'm not on there all day long. Things like that. I just don't enjoy being tied to a phone. I have my phone, which the screen is shattered. On my cell phone, the screen is shattered, and half the time my phone don't do what I want it to do anyway. So, but I hardly ever have my phone in my hands because I always have this in my hands, and you can see how much progress I've made while I've been chatting. This is what I have in my hands, not my phone. I'll leave my phone plugged up on the charger by my bed or just wherever, in the bottom of my purse or something like that. And then half the time, even when I leave the house, if it's all of us leaving together, I might not even take my phone with me. Mainly the only time that I make sure I have my phone close by, volume turned up. That's another thing, my volume stays off. But the only time I make sure the volume is up and close by is if somebody's off doing something, and I feel like there's a chance they might need to contact me for help, or, if Elijah goes off and, I want him to be able to call home and say he needs help or whatever. So that's, I don't mean to rant about it. I just meant to explain why I'm not on Facebook all the time. And so, anyway, I guess I've chatted for a good while here. And like I said, that's the progress I've made. And I'm just going to keep going around. I'm almost got one more. I can go down and back one. And then I'll be at the corner. And then I have to do my corner. And I don't know if I can do that and talk at the same time here. I need to concentrate on what I'm doing for that corner. But I've enjoyed visiting with you and just chit-chatting. But do go check out the LoCAL if you're interested in joining that. It started February the 1st and it ends April the 1st. So you have plenty of time to make something. I was telling my friend today at co-op that I was making a Louisiana blanket, and to enter in that, and I was telling her, that you just had to make something that represents where you live. And she said, you could have just made a Mardi Gras hat. True, but I already had in mind that I did want to make a Louisiana blanket, and I'm just making this up as I go. So I plan to, since this will be my only project that I'm working on for a little while, I do plan to, check back in with you and have some chats and show progress on my squares. This is my fourth square that I'm working on, so I plan to hopefully get it finished. I mean, sometimes I'll sit here and just work on a square, and my hands will just be hurting so bad. I have to go just take some ibuprofen and go lay down for a little bit and just give my hands a break because they were hurting so bad. And just another quick update on my finger. This finger, it is a lot better. It still is sensitive inside there. I mean, I don't think it's getting worse or anything like that. I think it's gotten better. But I wish it wasn't sensitive in there. Like, I can touch yarn, I can touch it, and I can touch my yarn and all. But it just feels off, I guess you could say. I mean, I know that it's different. So, yeah, I appreciate you continuing to pray for that finger to get complete healing in it. But I'm happy that it is better. I hope it just continues to get better. But I've just sat here and chatted, and I hope you have stuck around. I might just be chatting to myself now, which kind of am, right? Okay, guys, well, I'm going to go, and I will see y'all soon. I hope everyone has a great week.